Can I get that sound check thing that you do?
Shut up!
All right, we're good. Levels are good.
On this episode of the MacGuffin Guild, we're gonna make a deal with the devil in Bedazzled. This 1967 film starring Peter Cook, Dudley Moore, Eleanor Bron, and Raquel Welch, directed by Stanley Donen. We're gonna talk about Dudley Moore's singing career, Julie Andrews, the legacy of Peter Cook, British humor, how this is not the Brendan Frazier remake, as well as the 7 Deadly Sins and the Devil's Henchmen. We'll discuss Mike's Bloodlines, Satisfied Tunafish, Old Dirty Men the movie, Marty Feldman's last film role, the streaming service Flix, and the art of Vajazzling. We're also going to rank movie Satans and comedy duos. I'm Pat Dougherty, and as always, I'll be joined by my fellow MacGuffins Justin Jones and Mike Antonio. Our theme song was written and performed by Jordan Vincent. Now light your sparkler for visual excitement, and let's get to this before we get hit by another peace scare. Blow a raspberry for Bedazzled.
I raised you better than this.
Welcome to another episode of the MacGuffin Guild. I am Pat Dougherty, and as always, I am with the mighty MacGuffins. I got Justin Jones to my left. How you doing, Justin?
Present.
Present? Just present? You're not, like, there's no other emotions?
A little pensive today. No, I don't know. Well, he's on the spot. I don't know what to say.
Okay, well...
How are you, Mike?
How are you on the spot? We do this every week.
I know.
You know what's coming.
We just been riffing for like an hour, just bullshitting about our week and our day and everything, and all of a sudden it's like, how are you? I'm like, huh?
I'm also here with Mike Antonio. Mike, how's it going?
Huh?
That's awkward.
No, I'm good.
I'm so embarrassed for you right now.
It happens.
All right, well, that's good. Thank you guys for being here. The film we did this week is Bedazzled.
Starring Brendan Fraser.
No, not at all.
Not at all. That is the remake of this film that we actually are
so
doing.
this was 19...
I'm pretty sure Sarah asked me multiple times.
Why'd you pick that?
No, I think she was like...
Isn't Elizabeth Hurley in that?
No, she loves this movie. We watched it together.
Oh, this movie's great.
Yeah, and she's like, you did tell him it was the one. It wasn't the...
God.
I was like, yeah.
Well, yeah, you prefaced it with you suffixed it?
And it was...
With 1967.
1967, not 1697.
You wrote 1697. Holy shit.
Is dyslexic, can you get that later in life? Or is that February?
I don't think you can.
I think that's when they primarily only had male actors, so that one was a little awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a 1967 Bedazzled, and it stars Peter Cook and Dudley Moore.
Every time someone says Peter Cook, I always think Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter Cook, Dudley Moore, Eleanor Bron, who she's still around.
Yeah, she's still making movies.
Actively working, which I thought was cool. And that, because, I think I've seen her before, but I saw her in old lady form.
Oh, yeah.
So it was interesting seeing her in her youth.
In her ultimate form. What was it?
Don't make me assume my ultimate form.
We're just a sweet old lady.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And then Raquel Welch.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was her.
Yeah,
at first.
That's wild.
Sarah was telling me a little fun fact. That it was probably on IMDb. It's probably no secret, but... that when they didn't have a title for it when they were advertising it, and so Peter Cook suggested they just call it Raquel Welch. And they're like, they couldn't understand, like, why would you just pick one character to name it after? And he said because usually he noticed when they would put marquees, they would put the actors, like the main actors, and then and then the name of the movie.
Oh, okay.
So he wanted it to be Peter Cook and Dudley Moore in Raquel Welch. Which I think's amazing. Like, that's like Peter Cook.
That sets the tone for the entire sense of humor of this whole movie.
Exactly.
So this is a film having to do with Faust, which, if you've listened to our episode on Phantom of the Paradise, we've already touched on that concept. So this is another.
If not, you should check that episode.
Yeah, you should check that episode out. But
apparently, we love the devil.
We do love the devil. No, I don't mean that. Jesus.
Too late. You said it.
Yeah, you're locked in.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got your soul.
Julie Andrews. Too late.
Yeah. Do the raspberry.
Yeah.
This will make sense to you guys later when we get into that.
Well, unless you've
Already,
seen
if
the
you've already
movie.
seen it, which you probably should have.
You probably should have, because
we were talking about everything about it.
yeah.
So it's about a little synopsis here. A hapless loser sells his soul to the devil in exchange for 7 wishes, but has trouble winning over the girl of his dreams. So I like Dudley Moore. I got to be honest, though. I was not too familiar, and I know this is probably sacrilege, depending on who is listening to this. I was not too familiar with Peter Cook, so I had to look him up.
Neither was I.
Obviously, our generation, us 40-year-olds,
Yeah.
Or us middle-aged men.
our middle-aged men generation, we
Also women.
probably, and men and women, yes, but we are mostly men in this room right now.
Yeah.
Mostly men. We would probably know him more as the Mowage guy from Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mowage.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, I remember, like, always hearing Dudley Moore's name when I was, like, younger and being like, you know, he's in a couple things, because at that point, my frame of reference was, like, 80s.
Like Arthur.
Yeah.
That's where I always knew him from.
Yes.
It's like, oh, he's a drunken middle-aged guy, big
Yeah.
deal. And now here I am, a drunken middle-aged guy, and I'm looking at young Dudley Moore, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, I was like, why is he so famous? Like, I only saw him in, like, a couple things. You know, this is younger me.
Yeah.
I was not even aware of this until I started watching them. Or I did look at it ahead of time. I was like, oh, Dudley Moore's in it. Now I understand his legacy.
Yeah.
Now I totally get it. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, so Peter Cook, though, I was the same. I knew Dudley Moore from a couple things. I knew him from Arthur. I knew him from, what was the one called? The Santa Claus.
Yes.
Or, no, not the Santa Claus, just Santa
Claus, the movie.
Yes,
Santa Claus,
the movie.
And then he did
Santa Claus The Reckoning, I think, is the sequel.
He also did the narration for what animated film was that? Fox and the Hound.
No, Milo and Otis.
Milo and Otis.
It wasn't animated. I think, was that live action?
Milo and Otis.
I feel like Milo and Otis was live action.
It may have been, but anyway, he was the narrator for that.
Oh.
So like that's like the things we knew him from.
Mm-hmm.
Or well, I mean, at least I was aware of that. I never saw it.
Yeah, Adventures of Milo and Otis. He was the narrator. 1986. I'm pretty sure that was live action. Well, live animal action.
As opposed to dead animal action. I mean, Jesus.
So
Some dead animal puppeteering.
Rotten Tomatoes, tomato meter, 82%
Wow, damn.
for Bedazzled.
That's
19
critic.
Yes, that's critic.
19% audience.
No.
score?
I was going to say 1967. Right? Is that what it is?
Not according to me.
No, it's 1697.
1697. So the audience score.
So what was it? 82
82%
review.
audience score.
Okay.
What do you think? Audience score,
I bet it's roughly the same. I bet it's 80.
Justin?
Yeah, I'd say the same.
74.
A
Out
little
of
lower than we
over 10,000.
thought. People don't get British humor. They're idiots. I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
I'm joking. If you don't understand British humor, it's a joke. I know you don't understand that it's a joke because it was a British joke.
So here's some quotes.
We've established that you're mostly British descent.
Yeah, that is true.
So
technically.
to give a range of reviews here, I have Robert Ebert.
Robert Ebert. That's weird. There's another guy named Roger Ebert.
Roger's brother Robert. No, I have Roger
I
Ebert.
can do this shit too, Ma.
Roger Ebert from the Chicago Sun-Times. In films of this sort, too often the camera records the fun instead of joining in it. However, that is certainly not the case in this magnificently photographed, intelligent, very funny film.
Yeah, you know, real quick, I want to point out, like, we all watch this in, like, standard def.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a very good-looking movie. But that's not the movie itself. I'm just saying the version that we saw.
Yeah, the
The free version we watched on Flix Fling. If anybody wants to check it out, that's really the only place you can see it unless you have the Blu-ray.
Or DVD or VHS.
Well,
I'm sure those came out.
I think a lot of them
laser
are,
disc.
I think a lot of them are out of print though,
maybe
and they're more expensive.
8mm film.
Yeah,
Some
that's
people
possible.
might have that.
But anyway,
So Cole Smithy from ColeSmithy.com, where else, says, here is a time capsule of 60s era self-loathing and misogyny captured in brilliant comic form. Rob Gonsalves from efilmcritic.com says, I found a lot of it only mildly amusing, but always enjoyable, due mostly to the rapport between the mischievous Cook and the sawed-off sad sack Moore.
I don't know, man. I laughed out loud at some stuff in this movie. I legitimately did.
Mark Bourne from DVDjournal.com. Oh, he's going to be out of date here soon. He better update his journal.
Of what?
What is it?
DVD Journal.
Oh, man, he's a relic.
So, Mark Bourne from DVDjournal.com. The duo's best film, Bedazzled, brought the spirit of swinging London plus...
Well said.
Was that it? It just got off mid-word?
Yeah, it's like that Monty Python skit where it just stops.
I totally agree with most of that statement.
Would you like a redo, Pat?
Yeah, impudent.
Impudent.
Sorry, I got to work them. Impotent.
Impudent.
Impudent?
Sure.
Let me do another one.
I bet British and American pronounce it different.
Okay, Caffeinated Clint from Movie Hole says, simply magic, a comedy that will cast a spell on you from start to end.
I agree. A devilish spell.
I like how immature we are. Like, we all giggled when you said movie hole. There's like nothing like that.
I knew it was coming.
It's not even.
All right,
like,
here's a negative. There's only one of the main page here that has the review samples here. There's only one negative amongst them, and this one is David Nusser from Real Film Reviews. I think we may have had him before. The film suffers from too many 70s era flourishes and extreme overlength.
Well, here's a problem right off the bat. It was made in the 60s.
So they're ahead of their time, is what he's saying.
Oh my goodness.
And what the hell is he talking about? What? I don't...
So let's give a couple audience reviews here, just so we can get some a little more of a... We'll paint a picture. So we have... Oh man, page not working. Okay, here we have...
Who's that? Is from what review site? That's a strange page not working.
Page not working at 404.com.
AJV, that's their, I guess, their official
stage name.
That's their stage name. A super reviewer. Again, we're getting into that.
Jeez.
A self-proclaimed super reviewer.
Yeah, this will be good.
2.5 stars. This movie is very funny at first, but the story is very familiar. Wonder why. And the jokes wear thin in the middle of the movie. Of course,
no.
It does have a good cast.
You know what's funny? I think
it gets funnier.
Yeah, I think it actually does.
I think it ramps up.
Because I remember watching this the other night, and I was like, I remember this being funnier. Because I feel like the scenes where Peter Cook's not in, I think fall flat. Because I think his first wish, Peter Cook's not in that one. And I was like, I just kind of drags a little bit. But then I think once Peter Cook's introduced, like more, it keeps getting funnier and funnier. Yeah, right. The first wish he's not in it, and it's like,
is that
bland.
the one, the first wish, the intellectual?
He wants to be more articulate.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they leave, they're on a date, and they get in like
come back to the apartment.
Yeah, that one gets a little bland.
He goes off on tangents all the time. Whenever something's brought up, he's just like, actually, blah, 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 blah. And he starts like, because he's intellectual now. Yeah. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Marcus W.
I am obviously not intellectual or articulate.
No, none of us are. You're in good company.
Marcus W. says, I have a real soft spot for the remake. Though Peter Cook is an infinitely...
It's easy for you to say.
Infinitely...
Remember?
Let me try that again.
Articulate.
Yeah. That's the theme.
Infinitely?
Yeah, let me try that again. I have a real soft spot for the remake, though Peter Cook is an infinitely better Satan than Hurley. This version suffers from a low budget, but has a brilliant script.
Yeah, I think that's part of its charm is its simplicity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, it's all in the dialogue, really. I mean, there is some visual stuff.
You want to know the one thing that upset me, and I'm not trying to bash on, what's it called, Flix Fling. I'm not trying to bash on Flix Fling, but I tried to put on the subtitles.
Oh.
Because in a lot of British humor, I tend to put the subtitles on so I don't miss anything, because I know I'm going to miss things. Because they're so quick, and I love it. I love how quick they are.
Yes.
And they have their own slang.
But I know there are so many jokes that went over my head.
Me too.
But unfortunately, I couldn't seem to find... Now, maybe it's just their layout. I couldn't figure out how to turn it on.
I don't know. I would argue that gives it a lot of replay value, though.
Yeah.
True.
Like when they're in the van or whatever, like changing or something, he kicks him in the ass and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I saw him in the trousers and was trying to give him a turn." And we're like, "What?"
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck that means. Like, and then Sarah was like, "Oh, he's just trying to have a go at him," or whatever he said. I don't even remember what he said.
Okay.
That's funny.
Man, the dialogue in this movie is like just so sharp. It's rapid fire, and that's British humor. I mean, it really is.
So, Justin, this was your selection.
It was.
And what's the history?
Yeah, let's hear the backstory.
Give us a little history here.
I don't know. Sarah and I were talking about that the other day. Like, we were just kind of like, I think we saw it was like Peter Cook and Dudley Moore, and I think maybe we knew that they were like a comedy duo at one point or something. We're like, oh, this might be fun to watch.
Which I did not know.
Like, I don't even know, and maybe we didn't at the time. I don't even remember. Like, we were trying to remember why we watched this, but I remember we were sitting there one night watching it, and we like laughed our ass off, and we instantly fell in love with it, like right away. And like we to this day quote this movie all the time, like different parts and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and just like, reference it in certain regards, but we just and honestly, this is Sarah and I both agree. Peter Cook is by far hands down our favorite version of the devil in any movie.
Yeah,
he's great.
Yeah,
he's really good.
Yeah, it's funny because he's really funny because he's just petty. Like, you know what I mean? He's not evil. He's just like mischievous and petty. You know what I mean? And which is funny because it's like he gets joy of cutting buttons off shirts and just being an inconvenience and scratching records. And I like the part where he snaps his fingers and a woman's groceries fall and they both laugh. And then Dudley Moore catches himself laughing. He's like, "Oh no!" Like
yes.
Like, it was just like simple
he gets
stuff.
caught up in it.
But the record thing I thought was great because they didn't explain. But didn't one of Dudley Moore's records skipped later?
Yeah, in the fantasy one.
I missed that. I totally missed. That's great.
Yeah, they're all getting into that record, and all of a sudden start skipping. It's like, oh.
I wouldn't say this reminds me of something else. But this something else reminds me of this. In the movie,
that's a phenomenal review.
In the movie Rat Race.
He's a super reviewer.
Yeah, I think articulating is the theme of this thing. We're doing a great job.
I was going to say this reminds me of something else, but technically this came first, so the other thing reminds me of this. If that makes sense.
What the fuck is going on right
Thanks for clearing that up.
You guys just aren't intellectual enough. The movie Rat Race.
Oh, yes.
John Cleese. He's doing all these other side bets, and it keeps cutting back to him. It's all this random stuff. Like there's people holding on to like the curtain rod, seeing who can hang on the longest. All these random little things. That's kind of what his little pranks remind me of.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like that same type of humor. Like I don't know, it just came to mind.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is I think Rat Race
was also starring Dudley Moore. That's not true at all.
No, I was gonna say I think Rat Race was based on, or at least inspired by,
Faust.
It's Faust, which brings us back now.
It all comes back to Faust.
It's a mad world.
Oh sure,
And then I think there was another one that's similar to that, of these capers with like these big casts going around. What was the other one I'm thinking of?
Cannonball Run.
Actually, kind of,
Actually,
the Great Muppet Caper.
That wasn't what I was thinking. And
I'm sure.
way off.
I said sure.
I feel like Dudley Moore's been in a Muppet movie. Is that true?
I bet he has, or at least I think he was in the show or something. I think he's credited in like an episode, possibly one of the films.
I think you're both getting him mixed up with Paul Williams because of their
No.
stature,
I certainly would not do that. So yeah, he was in episode 407 of the Muppets.
There you go. So we're all in agreement that we've never seen the remake or reimagining.
I've never seen it. No,
I know
it might be great.
I've heard it's not, but I guess we shouldn't judge it because we haven't actually seen it. But
I like Elizabeth Hurley and Brendan Fraser. So
that's true.
I mean, he is the best George of the Jungle.
Arguably, yeah. I mean,
find me a better one.
Yeah.
We could debate this.
So,
Encino Man, wasn't he in that?
Dudley Moore did the music.
Yeah.
So, did you guys know he had a history?
No, I didn't. Apparently, Justin did. You hinted at that.
I did just from after watching this. I didn't know before I watched this.
So, okay, when you watched it originally or when you watched
When I watched it originally, I didn't know.
When did you find out?
What
was it? 1 + 2 + 2 + 1?
I know, I was thinking
1 + 2 + 2 + 1.
Is there or isn't there anyone in the house? Yes. Yes, there is, or yes, there isn't.
Yes.
Please.
Um,
God. Anyway, what were you saying?
I don't know. I didn't know.
I was watching this and I kept thinking to myself, is she really tall or is Dudley Moore really short? And I was like, I know he is short, but is she still like actually tall? Or is she like average?
We're really getting to the meat and potato.
Yeah.
Hey man,
That was my whole point. Why I
gotta know how tall my women's are.
Yeah, they might have did like a Lord of the Ring things where she's always sitting a little bit ahead of him in the chair.
To the camera,
yeah.
So, real quick, just to tie a couple things up here. One, just so everybody listening knows, we always have the film on the TV while we're recording, just to kind of spark our imaginations and conversations,
Reminding us.
So if we get distracted or anything, we'll try to clue you in on all the the side conversations. 2, the Clue reference is what we just did there.
Oh, is that what that was?
If anyone is not familiar with the movie Clue, go watch that. But if you are, then you already knew what those lines were.
Oh yeah, I do remember that now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
So Dudley Moore, yes, the music. When did you find out? The original time you watched it, you were surprised to find out?
I can't remember. I think I was surprised both times because I think the first time we watched it, I remember seeing that he did the music, and I was like, "Oh wow, I didn't know he did that." And the music's great. And then this time when we watched it again, I saw it and I was like, "Oh wait, I totally forgot about that again." And we actually went back and started watching. They had a couple like sketch comedy or variety shows.
Yeah, they had like
and
2
stuff.
different shows or something, right?
Yeah, there was Not Only, but also and Beyond the Fringe. And I think Beyond the Fringe is like known as being like one of the like cornerstones of that genre.
Oh, Beyond the Fringe, 1962 original Broadway cast.
Wow.
Yeah,
And then Dudley Down Under.
I'm not familiar with
Songs Without Words by Dudley Moore. Authentic Dud.
that. But we started watching it, and he's like really, he was doing some music in one of them because I think it was Not
really
Only,
cool.
but also was supposed to be like a vehicle for his music career.
Okay.
And then they brought on Peter Cook to be kind of like the funny man, I think, to bring on.
Oh, okay.
I might be misquoting. This is all shit Sarah told me, and I'm like half listening because I was tired.
God. Giving us a bad name.
He's
Giving
so
us
creepy
husbands.
here. He's like, go ahead, no, do it, let it happen.
Yeah.
So this film, during the church scene, when he's sitting there praying, and Peter Cook's looking through the window, picking his victim.
Yeah.
It totally reminded me of my church-going days.
Oh, nice.
Like,
really?
it was like, I mean, I don't know that that's nice, but...
No, nice. I didn't know what to say.
It's just a space filler there.
But no, it was like straight up, like...
There was a guy looking down.
Real deal. It was like they just literally said, hey, just keep doing masks. We're just going to bring a couple cameras in and just film this shit. Like, don't worry about us. Because it was like the sounds, the songs, the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
It was definitely like, it brought me there.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that because, like, growing up, we didn't go to church that much. Like, going to Easter or when someone's going to jail or something, you want to pray for them.
Oh,
but,
Jesus.
we would just go, whenever, just to save face. But we like,
I mean, maybe, Christmas time. No, you go Easter in jail.
yeah, I think it was about it. Yeah. It's all about, like, rising
What about
up again.
funerals?
I mean, you have to go if it's a church at a funeral, but we didn't go for service. You would just go for a funeral, so we typically didn't go. And I remember back a long time ago, going to, I went with you and your family for Christmas to your grandmother and grandfather's house, and I remember we went to to a church, and they were all the hymns and stuff, and I remember being legitimately like fucking freaked out for no reason. Yeah, I was like, man, it's like all the chanting and all that shit, and I was like, man, this is fucking because it's not like I've never stepped in a church. Like I did like lock-ins with the church, like we moved around and stuff. I remember doing a lock-in. It's like I've been in churches and shit, but I don't know. It was just something at that particular moment with the chanting and the lights.
My grandmother's church, it was Catholic church, but she took that stuff so seriously. God bless her. Like I'm not knocking on it. It was her thing,
No,
but
that's what made her
her
happy.
whole church community, like they had a thing. It was like a sisterhood, like all the old church.
Yeah.
Like she was a church lady, like Dana Carvey, yeah. So it was that whole crew was like that, and so all of them are like singing at the top of their lungs, and like these are the lungs and the voice that God gave me, so I'm going to use it. Even if they couldn't sing, they'd be wailing on those hymns, and
and just not to sound, because I did appreciate being able to spend that moment with you and your family there. That was great.
I didn't even remember. I didn't even remember you were there. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I was a couple pews back. I didn't ride with you guys,
Yeah.
but I was like, I knew where you were
You
going.
were
I figured
sweating and violently shaking on the floor.
Yeah.
I think the only
You
time
didn't really know me then, by
I
the
had
way.
ever-
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
the only times I had ever been to church services were with you and your family, Pat. Besides like weddings, I think I've been to a couple. And
Bingo.
well, that was later. That was later. I don't even think I'd even been to a funeral. I don't think I went to a funeral till I was like probably in my 20s.
I don't blame you. They
Honestly.
suck.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it just didn't happen for whatever
I mean,
reason.
that's when you started murdering.
Well,
That was your calling card.
Yeah.
yeah. Then I would.
I always go to their
Yeah.
funerals.
Christ.
Get his ass out of here!
I am not a murderer. Wink, wink.
Collect the card. What's it? The prayer card.
Oh yeah,
Collect
the little prayer
cards.
card. Jesus.
Man, there's a movie idea.
But then
someone's gonna steal it.
Yeah,
We're gonna see it next
and
year.
then one of my ex-girlfriends, I went to church with her here and there. And
Just to fool
and
around.
bingo.
Well, you
Yeah,
need.
just to fool around.
Oh my god.
Christ.
Anyway, so yes, the Peter Cook character, he obviously observes the Dudley Moore character in church, but then
Yeah.
Dudley Moore, real down on his luck, afraid to approach the girl that he has a thing for that he works with. I like how Peter Cook, when he comes in, he was like, I hate to interrupt your unsuccessful suicide bid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. But
Oh,
yeah, real quick, just to piggyback off what you were saying earlier about Peter Cook,
Yeah.
he was great in this.
Yes. Yeah.
And for not knowing who he was prior to this movie, other than the Mowage guy from
Yeah.
Princess Bride, it was so neat to see him at his peak. And I have a newfound respect
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Peter
me
Cook.
too, me
Like,
too.
I'm
Totally.
definitely going to dig into his other works.
Yes. He's great. He's hilarious. Like I think I remember him. There was another thing. There was a couple things I can't remember now. It was like marriage, and then something else growing. Sarah remembered him from Supergirl,
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
which I had never seen Supergirl, so I didn't.
I saw that when I was a kid. I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
Like literally nothing.
I can't think of Supergirl without thinking about Popeye's chicken, though. Because that poster or whatever with the Popeye's chicken in the background, like that's,
Yeah.
every time I think of her, I think of Popeye's chicken, and I get real hungry. It's great. Red beans and rice.
Yellow Beard.
Yeah, we just watched Yellowbeard the other day.
Was that
too.
good?
No, not well. So yeah, look at
Yes or no?
look at the cast of Yellowbeard.
Okay.
The cast is amazing. It's like Monty Python dudes. It's Peter Cook. It's Cheech and Chong.
Damn.
Yeah, Graham Chapman.
Yeah, it's all
Peter
these,
Boyle,
Yeah,
Cheech Marin,
Oh.
Tommy Chong, Peter Cook, Marty Feldman,
yeah, Marty Feldman.
Damn.
Marty Feldman's last
Eric
film.
Idle, Madeline Kahn,
Madeline Kahn.
Damn.
Yeah.
John Cleese. Gee, yeah, it just keeps going.
Yeah. It was
wild.
it was okay. The best part of that movie.
What is it? Yellowbeard?
Yellowbeard. Yeah, Grant Chapman plays Yellowbeard, who's a pirate, and Grant Chapman was fucking great in it. Like I would just like to do like a supercut of just all his parts.
He wrote it with Peter Cook and Bernard McKenna.
Yeah.
They wrote it.
But yeah, like every time, all he had to do was just be on screen, and I was laughing.
Really?
Yeah, like he was hilarious, but everybody else kind of sucked. Like the Cheech and Chong part, I didn't think was funny.
Really?
Like,
Did they just try to like shoehorn them into the movie?
I don't know. They were like an actual part of the movie. Maybe they did. I
David
don't know.
Bowie.
Yeah, David Bowie has a
Damn.
small part in it. It just didn't land
didn't-
for me.
just
Yeah,
didn't
it just
click.
didn't work. But I mean, there's like I said, Grant Chapman. Or yeah,
What
Grant
year
Chapman
was
like
this? Obviously
80,
before
I
Graham
think?
Chapman died.
1983.
83.
Wow. What year did he die?
Grant Chapman.
Yeah.
It had to be relatively close.
That's
to
what I'm
that.
saying. Like pretty
Find
close to that.
Yeah, he was hilarious. in it.
Oh, he was great in general.
I always now that we're talking about this. Well, Pat's looking that up. I always, for my entire life, my entire adult life, probably half my childhood, I always got mixed up Marty Feldman and Marty Friedman.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can-
the guitar player for Megadeth.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for ages, I've always got them mixed up. So
Yeah.
I'll be talking about Marty Feldman and people are like really confused, or I'll be talking about Marty Freeman and people are
It's
really
like, yeah, I
confused.
love
That's like,
the guitar solo that Marty Feldman has on that part.
Like,
You're
what?
Yeah, I didn't know he played.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
could he see with those googly
Yeah,
ass
I know.
eyes?
Yeah. And actually, part of the reason we watched that is because Peter Cook and she had never seen Young Frankenstein. We watched that about a month ago,
that
and
movie's great.
that's like a bunch of people from there and that. Peter Cook has like one really funny part in Yellowbeard, where he, I guess there's some flower girl that's just kind of trying to like rip off like his son or something like that. So he goes over and he's like, "Oh, here, I'll give you money," and he throws it on the ground, and when she goes to pick it up, he like kicks her in it because they're oopsie daisy, and kicks her in the ass, but knocks her into like a like Bilko doors or something into a basement.
Oh shit!
But it was just like his timing on it was like it was one like really funny part, but it's like the timing was the best part. Yeah.
Graham Chapman died in 1989.
It wasn't 80. Well, it was late 80s.
October 4th, 1989. At 48 years old.
Sucks.
Marty Feldman died on the set, not on the set, but while they were filming Yellowbeard in Mexico.
Oh, did he?
Oh,
Yeah, so they
wow.
had to have someone else in the scene. Like, I guess apparently this was facts on IMDb. I guess they had to have a stunt double or something.
Like a stand-in?
A stand-in, that's what it was for his later parts.
I never even heard of this movie, so we should.
I didn't know.
We should watch that sometime.
I would watch it. Not worth talking about. It was cool. There was definitely parts, but I like John Cleese. I mean, there were some funny parts. It just something just didn't stick.
All right, well maybe I'll just watch it on my own.
You can.
Whatever. You can't stop me.
We already seen this. Put it on right now.
Yeah.
In the background.
You all right, Pat?
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at it. Yeah, 1983, Yellowbeard. That's Marty Feldman's last credit. I didn't know that. Interesting.
Neither did I.
I learned something today.
Sing it.
There was
I felt that in my soul.
There was a funny sketch they did on not only but also that because I was watching some of that, and they were like doing like a biopic on like I forget the character's name, but it's supposed to be like Greta Garbo.
Okay.
And it was really funny because they were both dressed like women and they were fucking hideous. It was so funny. Like not so much like Dudley Moore or whatever. He was like, but when it went to Peter Cook, because he's so like long
lanky.
and lanky and he's like sharp features and like when he would just move across the room it was like.
Yeah.
And there's a part where he's like seducing like Dudley Moore's character as a man when he's a man, and it's like really awkward because it's like coming over ripping his shirt. Yeah, just ghoulish looking.
So I like the did we get to see all 7 deadly sins working for him? I know we saw anger, we saw
Sloth.
Yeah,
Sloth.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
Lust.
Sloth. Isn't Wrath? Is Wrath in there?
I don't know. There's
vanity.
Vanity.
Gluttony's definitely in there.
Gluttony.
That's the heavyset lady.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did. And then there was Pride. And then the one because they called it something else. I don't know if it's because it's British or something. When they were it was with Gluttony. It was the other one he was with. Was
Okay, what was that?
Greed.
Okay.
But he called it something else. I don't know.
Really?
What
It's called
yeah.
something different? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you're right.
So we had all 7, yeah.
I couldn't have, that'd be weird if it didn't, you know what I mean? If it only had some.
So the number 7. So I like the fact that they went with the 7 wishes.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's based on the 7 deadly sins.
I think 7's a recurring theme because he mentioned something about it earlier, and he's like 7 this and 7 brides for 7, whatever.
7 Brides for Sister Sarah? Isn't that a movie?
Yeah, but that's not. There's something else, which I'm not gonna.
That was I don't know.
Yeah, 7. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. 7.
Because there was the guy that made this movie. A previous movie was I'm fucking it up. 7 brides for
Sister Sarah?
For Mike Antonio.
7 brides for 7 brothers.
Please no.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I don't want 7 brides. Please.
Yeah, I thought the 7 deadly sins working for him were great. Anger was cool.
Yeah, he cracked me up. That was great. Yeah.
That was good stuff. And then I like how Dudley signed the deal in somebody else's blood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, would that make it official, or would that like void the contract?
I thought it had to be your own blood, but the devil's just like, whatever.
He was just going to give him a pen, and he's like, isn't it supposed to be in blood? And he's like, oh, you are a traditionalist or something like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I just love how his to prove that he's the devil, he's like, oh, well, all right, to prove it, just ask me, what do you want? What do you want me to do? He's like, I forget what that thing, some kind of like
an
popsicle.
ice lolly.
Yeah, an ice lolly.
Yeah. He's like, done. And
was it a raspberry ice lolly?
It was like a specific flavor
because
they
do the raspberry dip.
Oh,
maybe. So So to prove that he's the devil, he takes him on the bus, and they go to the little stand or whatever.
I like when he gets on the bus too. He's like.
Yeah.
He signals to him.
He's just like, I could have done that myself. Like that wasn't a.
And he had to pay for it himself.
Yeah, he's like, all I have is a large denomination.
$1 million or £1 million.
Yeah. Oh man, that
£1 million.
that
I like how he hands him a sparkler for visual excitement.
yes.
What's this for?
Is it going to
just
explode?
for visual excitement.
It's like no, it's perfectly safe.
Yeah.
But I like how it doesn't. You don't see him light it. He just pulls it into frame.
Yeah,
It's like lit and fired up, ready to go.
Like just shoves it at him. Yeah.
So, I bet that would be another situation. I'd be curious, Mike, when you get the Blu-ray, you'll have to update us here on the MacGuffin Guild. But as I was watching this, what would you call it? Transfer of the film.
Yeah, transfer. Yeah.
It was very glitchy at times, and it seemed like the frame rate was off. Did you pick up on that? Like there were moments. Did you pick up? Well, did you watch it through this app?
Through Fartflix or whatever.
Fartflix.
Fartflix. Jesus.
I don't remember what it's called.
Flix Fling.
Flix Fling.
So
Fartflix.
dude, I'm gonna start an app, a movie app. Totally.
Fartflix. That'd probably be super popular.
That's my $1 million idea.
Well, it's Justin's idea. You asshole.
Oh, too late. I already trademarked.
That's my $1 million idea that I stole from my friend.
I've been ripped off before.
I've seen friendships end for less.
Never so quickly, though. I didn't even finish my statement. He's like, this idea I had will make me millions.
God damn, I'm a genius.
Well, it's all about the trademark. And I have a computer in front of me.
And I'm not going to put the work into it. So have at it. Give me like 5%.
All right.
Be good.
So, but yeah, I'm going to totally Fartflix. Download it. Get that shit, man. I'm only going to have like 2 or 3 things on there. Probably films I've made on my own. So you're not going to want to watch them.
Hot.
Yeah. So anyway, I just noticed that was just,
will be Fartflix.
Yeah, that was just an observation that it seemed really glitchy on here. I didn't know if that was a case of
it may have been their service.
Yeah, so I'd be real curious. So when you get the Blu-ray, I want to know if you see any of that.
Yeah,
because it gave me that impression, like when you watch those old like 1930s war films where you see the soldiers and everybody's moving in like
like a
super speed,
jerky.
Yeah, like herky jerky super speed,
like Herman Munster firing up the car and driving around.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if that was like in its bones or if that just happened to be the transfer. So
is that the Monster Mobile or what is it?
It's and then Dragula.
I know Dragula was one. I thought it was in one specific episode, but maybe you're right. Maybe it is Dragula.
I'm not positive. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know.
So
I'm not a Munsters.
So how many people did Satan have to turn?
A billion? Was it a billion souls?
Something like that. Yeah.
And then I like how I said we were badly hit by a peace scare.
Oh yeah, peace scare. Oh yeah, especially in this part. Yeah, when he plays an arms dealer or something like that, and he's like, yeah, like I like the way they turn it. Like he's like, oh, all you need is two madmen in a room talking peace, and all of a sudden, all these arms companies go out of business, and it's pandemonium.
That's what I love. It's that sly, sarcastic, dry, a lot of times British humor. I love it.
You know what I love about British humor?
No,
I love
tell me.
that it's so intelligent.
Yeah.
But they say it in a way where you don't get the impression like they're trying to talk down to you or demean you. Like you won't get my jokes because I'm too smart for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly.
Knockers.
Oh yeah, there's currently knockers on the TV before us.
I missed that the first time. Titties!
But I love that about...
I told you I was going to talk about them.
Oh my
there
gosh.
it is.
I love that about British humor.
Yeah.
That it's very intelligent, very quick, but not... It doesn't make me feel like, oh, well, I don't belong here. I'm not welcome in this club.
Yeah.
No, not at all. It's just... That's just what they do. Like, it's just natural to them to have that sense of humor. I love it, man. Like I said to you guys when I started watching it, I said this reminds me of Monty Python because it's the same type of like quick, rapid fire, like
absurd,
and the silliness of it. Yeah.
And that's why I wanted my subtitles because I really think that I could have gotten more out of my first viewing because I know there were things firing over my head.
But I want to watch it again, for sure. And I will. This movie's going to be one of those ones that I will revisit for sure. I going into this, I was like, "What the fuck is this movie that Justin picked?" Sorry, but I did really.
No, I'm glad to hear that.
I was like, "What is this shit?"
I thought that you guys should have that reaction.
Is this going to be another The Visitor?
Yeah.
Like just one of these batshit weirdo movies. But no, man, I loved this movie. I'm not gonna lie. I think I can't believe I've never heard of it besides the remake, which I did not know that it was a remake. It really hit.
Yeah. Yeah, so when I heard you say the title, I've heard of the remake too, but originally my mind went to, what is it called? Vajazzled? Bedazzled, where
you guys said that before. I don't know what that is.
Where
Is it
women,
vagina?
I think it's Vajazzled.
Women pretty up their nether regions with jewels.
Vaginas.
Yeah, they're vaginas.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They bejewel
Is that the technical term?
I don't know if it's a scientific term, but I heard it used in certain circles. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And what's it like?
I heard it's pretty nice.
So anyway, yeah. So
tell us more.
Is that still a thing? I remember there was a period where
Vaginas?
Like,
even like Hollywood actors.
They're never going out of vogue.
No, I mean this.
It's where we come from.
The phase of prettying them up,
I don't know.
like with jewels
I think
and
that's
sparkles.
I think that was like a fad. I mean,
Because even
maybe,
like Hollywood actresses and stuff would go on like Jay Leno and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm vajazzled."
Did they
Or
really do that?
Hold on, I gotta look up.
I'll be honest with you. This is all new to me, so I must have missed that
it was
phase.
a few years ago. Like it was a big thing. You were hearing about it everywhere.
Vajazzled.
They were just putting like little like.
Vajazzled.
That's what I was. God
Well,
damn it.
I haven't been sure as I was saying it. I wasn't sure if I was
Man,
saying.
I know my vaginas.
So
I know the terms.
vajazzle. Okay, vajazzle, also spelled vajazzle. It's spelled. Oh, you could spell it with a J or with a G.
Oh, okay.
Or glitter pubes.
That's weak. It should just be a G. I hate that we're
Pubes?
constantly making concessions for everyone.
Glitter
It's a G.
Glitter pubes. Is a form of genital decoration formed by the application of crystal ornaments or the shaved mons pubis of a woman. The process is known as vajazzling or bedazzled.
Sorry.
The
I'm
phenomenon
giggling.
was popularized by actress Jennifer Love Hewitt, who devoted a chapter of her book, The Day I Shot Cupid, to vajazzling.
Wait a minute. Jennifer Love Hewitt does this?
Yes. In fact, she's the actress I saw on Jay Leno or something years ago talking about currently being vajazzled.
Interesting.
So we know what Mike's doing later.
I just have images in my head right now.
In the United Kingdom, the concept was popularized by beautician Amy Childs, appeared in the television show The Only Way is Essex in 2010. By 2011, an internet rating site for vajazzling called Rate My Vajazzle had been set up. So, Mike, you'll have to check out Rate My Vajazzle.
I'm on it.
And let us know. Vajazzling.
Is Jennifer Love Hewitt on the site?
Side note, vajazzling can increase risks of infection if not properly cleaned.
Oh, sure. Well, that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, anytime you mess with like the vagina or any kind of like
So, when you say mess with the vagina, what's it like? Anyway.
Why are we laughing? Seriously.
So, yeah, I thought originally when you recommended this movie, you were talking about vajazzling.
No, that's the first I heard of it, so that's cool. I like that we're introducing each other to new things we don't know about. We're educating each other.
Is there a film about vajazzling that I can...
Well, you'll have to let us know, because I'm sure you're going to deep dive into that one later.
Justin's taking notes.
You said I could do a J or a G, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, Bedazzled was a movie that we watched.
Bedazzled.
Yeah.
This film did a really good job at one thing for me. You want to know what that was? And it didn't even have to do with humor.
Okay.
The scene where, what did he come back as? He came back as the businessman. He was the businessman who wanted his wife to be like playful and mess around.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he came back and all she did was cheat on him with his friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
That scene did a really good job of building up a level of jealousy that I haven't felt since I was like mid-20s and actively dating people and being cheated on and disrespected. Like,
oh, God.
It brought back those feelings of jealousy that I haven't felt in 20 years.
Yeah.
So it did a really good job at that.
Yeah, it was just building and building, like he's trying to, and Peter Cook's, egging him on. It's like,
yeah, and then she's like sucking on his fingers and stuff.
Yeah.
The guy, this boyfriend or the friend, not the boyfriend. The friend.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool though that they conveyed that in such a short amount of time.
yeah.
I love, if we're going to talk about the segments, they're all good in their own ways, I think, but man, the nun segment,
Yeah.
not only the fact that he comes back, or in this version he's a nun,
Yeah.
but the things the nuns are doing out in the yard, it's so silly.
Yeah.
So random.
And they're doing.
I was
trampoline.
like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
While even before the trampolines, washing a tree,
Two
like
of
they're
them-
cleaning the tree.
mopping the grass.
They were mopping. They had two of them had jackhammers.
So did you know that was the trampoline skit was an expansion of a skit from Cook and Dudley Moore's TV show, not only but also.
I didn't know
Okay.
that.
So it was their
I
original
did
work,
know
and then
they
they
took-
expanded on something they
I
had
knew
already
they took
done.
things from that and incorporated it into this, but I didn't know what specifically.
Yeah, the nun stuff was funny, and I did really like that about.
It got very silly.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why. I mean, this, in hindsight, now watching it, seems like such a cinematic classic. But for some reason, what it reminded me of, the overall synopsis of it, how he keeps asking for a way to be with this girl that he really likes, that he works with, and he doesn't have the guts to approach her. So he has 7 wishes with the devil, and he wants desperately to be in a position of power with this woman where he can, woo her and get her hand and, whatever.
That's all
And they
he
can
wants.
be together. That's all he wants. But every time he asks, there's always a twist. The devil always
It's the
twists it
devil,
on him.
Yeah.
of course.
So, but what that reminded me of is the one line. I know this is going to sound so silly. I don't know if it was in the original animated Aladdin, but I know it was in the Will Smith Aladdin.
Which is not bad. I like that.
Yeah,
Still
it was
canon.
It was okay. Yeah, still canon. So it was the scene where Aladdin, he says, "Make me a prince." And the genie says, "You're going to have to be more specific.
Yeah.
Do you want me to make you a prince?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
hey, here's
yeah.
another prince."
Yeah.
So, but it was the devil was playing with his words.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
you have to be real specific.
yes,
and
yes.
even when he was extra specific,
It didn't matter.
the one thing he wasn't specific about is that he still wanted to be a man.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yes.
know?
Yeah.
So that was really great.
And white, like he's like,
Oh, yeah,
and white.
and white.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he covered all the bases
Yeah.
except for his
tried
sex.
to, yeah.
So he was like, "What color is God?" And he's like, "Oh, he's all the colors." And he's like, "But he's English, right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, very upper class."
Yeah, yes. yes.
He's all the colors,
Yeah.
but he's English. That's so funny. We mentioned Peter Cook, Princess Bride. He was in Great Balls of Fire in 1989, Supergirl in 1984, Yellowbeard in 83, 1966. I thought this was very interesting. A bizarre Alice in Wonderland connection between him and Dudley Moore.
Yeah.
In 1966, he was in Alice in Wonderland, a TV movie. He played the Mad Hatter. However, Dudley Moore played Dormouse in the 1972 Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Completely different production.
Huh.
But I thought that was interesting little tie-in that they both played characters in that world.
I saw the
Yeah.
Dudley Moore thing, and once you mentioned the other one, I saw where you're going with that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So, and then Dudley Moore, just to run through, Santa Claus the movie, 1985, Arthur in 81, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, 72, Adventures of Milo and Otis in 86, Unfaithfully Yours in 84, Romantic Comedy in 83, just to highlight some of his big shits.
His big doodah.
On Fart Flix.
So, check it out on Fartflix. So, Raquel Welch, I'm not sure what else she's. I mean, she was in like the old Dirty Men movies, like years later, like.
Old Dirty Men.
Yeah, what's it called?
Grumpy old men.
She's in the old Dirty Men movies.
I think Old Dirty Men will be the movies that we're in.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Old Dirty Men.
Oh, God. I knew what I meant. So let's see. What else has she done? Old Dirty Men.
But you know what? I knew exactly what you meant. So
Yeah, she was in the Old Dirty Men franchise. Let's see here. Raquel Welch. So let's see. So she played Lust.
Yeah.
Wow.
That makes sense.
Duh.
Oh, she's in Fantastic Voyage. I used to love that movie when I was a kid. Did you ever see that?
I like the Coolio
It was
song.
on like Sunday
That's a good
afternoon
song.
years
It
ago.
is a good song.
Yeah, so let's see. Did she play a Bond girl?
1 million years
Probably.
BC. She's in a lot of movies.
Three
I've seen
Musketeers
that
from
as a kid, I don't
73.
remember.
I can almost...
Kansas City Bomber.
I can't imagine she wasn't a Bond girl.
Here, let's see here.
She had to be.
She has 71 actress film credits.
Actressing.
She was very good at actressing. So, House of Versace,
What?
CSI Miami.
Whoa.
No, forget about it. 8 Simple Rules, Legally Blonde.
Ah.
She was in Chairman of the Board, Carrot Top.
Ah, yes.
I like Norm Macdonald,
I was just
chairman
gonna
of
say,
the BORED.
Did you ever watch that clip?
No.
It is my favorite late night
Yeah.
clip ever.
Oh, wait, maybe you played
Oh
that.
yeah, it's
Ever.
amazing.
I think
yeah.
Yeah, I love how even Conan's like, do something with that, Joe Schmo, or whatever he says.
yeah.
You know, do something with that. And he's like, I bet it's spelled chairman of the BORED.
Yeah.
Yeah, you played that clip.
That is
I did
so
see
good.
Yeah.
That was great.
Norm Macdonald, you can go down that YouTube
Oh, yeah.
path and be trapped for 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a good spot to be
Yeah.
trapped, though. He's hilarious. I loved the one time he was on a podcast or something. Someone said he was putting on weight. He's like, I'm putting on weight for a movie role, and he's like, what? And someone was like, what role? He's like, I don't know. Hollywood's always looking for a fat guy.
That's so great.
Hollywood's always
yeah.
looking for a fat guy.
His deliveries are hilarious. Yeah, he's great.
When I saw him at Mike, you were there with me. We saw Dirty Work
Didn't we see that in the theater?
in the theater.
Yeah, okay.
I fucking
How many
love
fucking movies
that.
did we see in a theater together?
Yeah, more than I realized.
A lot.
Because every podcast we seem to reference a movie we saw together in the theater,
Yeah. Anyway.
including Thin Air.
Oh, Christ. That was me, you, and Rob.
Yeah,
Oh. Hoy, what an
Lizard.
experience. What an experience that was. Fuck.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was good.
Woo.
I remember when I went to the movie. I don't remember who was all there, but Rob was there because he was sitting next to me. We went to go see High Fidelity.
Oh,
And-
I
and-
wasn't there for that.
I
Yeah.
did not see that in the theater.
There was a part where it was a real intense part where it's like John Cusack, it's like a close-up of his face, and him and his girlfriend got in a big fight, and I think she's like pacing in front of him, and it's this real tense moment. It's quiet, and she's just pacing in front of him, and he leans over to me and quietly goes, "Is that the bad guy from Die Hard?"
Like he picked that moment.
yeah, like
It's like, dude, God, you're
because the
messing me up.
intensity on his face and everything. It was like,
So yeah, our friend Rob, check out Bristow Live Fire Pizza.
Yeah.
He's got some killer pizza. So check it out. Look him up online. He's a good guy. Although he does not, he doesn't hesitate to interrupt the viewing pleasure of a film.
Yeah, he's doing like little pop-up things at different like
Vineyards and wineries.
yeah, where he's, he'll pop up with his little pizza.
A pizza pie.
Yeah, his pizza pie. We can do that because we're Italian.
must be nice.
It's wonderful.
Although I found out I'm less Italian than I thought. I'm only like a third Italian when I thought I was half.
So is the other half, is it Hobbit?
Well, I mean, that's a portion, yeah.
One-third Hobbit.
What is Scottish? More Scottish than you thought?
I like Britain, not just Scottish, but English, and then I don't know how they determine. And I'm not trying to.
You are humanoid though, right?
Oh, humanoid,
Yeah.
not human necessarily,
Yeah.
but humanoid.
That's what I thought.
One of the things that it said, I did the answer.
132nd sea serpent.
He does have a hell of a tongue.
You took, yeah, you're not the first to tell me that.
Many a tuna has been satisfied.
Yeah,
Many a
boy.
tuna. Why tuna?
He's a sea serpent.
Do they have a thing for tuna fish?
Do they eat tuna fish?
I'm just saying there's plenty out there. I'm sure.
There's plenty of tuna fish in the sea.
Why not just say fish? You're so specific.
Catfish.
Like you know something that we don't.
What was that? What was my point? Oh, my ancestry.com.
I wasn't trying to brag.
That's gonna be on Mike's tombstone. Many a tuna were satisfied.
Hashtag humble brag. So
On my tuna, yes. Hashtag humble brag.
Oh god.
Oh shit. No, my ancestry.com said like 1% Jewish. Which I'm
So
like,
you did that? I didn't know you did that.
yeah. My parents did it, and then they.
But now they can catch you for the murders.
Oh shit. Damn it.
They can.
Can I take it back?
No, you can't.
But they got me. They got me the kit for Christmas one year. Like they paid.
Because they wanted to make sure you were their son. They didn't know how to break it to you,
Yeah.
so they gifted it
Well,
to
I
you.
definitely am
Yeah.
from the results. Yeah.
I just pat him on
And
the
they're
back.
like,
Good luck.
God damn it.
Good luck out there.
And then Eleanor Bron. She's currently 82 years old as of the recording of this episode.
What else would I know her from?
Let's see. Let's look her up because
I didn't recognize her in this movie, but I'm infatuated with her.
Yeah, I thought she
honestly I am.
Yeah, I thought she was really cool because at the beginning they show her just kind of like doing her average thing, her average job, and she's talking about all these great things about her and everything. And then each version of her is very different, so she has to play all these different roles. And she does it well, I think.
Yeah.
she has 98 actress credits.
Okay.
She was in, let's just scan down this quickly. She's been in a ton of stuff. I think a lot of it is like BBC kind of TV series. Yeah, Vanity Fair.
Maybe she didn't get into like more mainstream
Heartbeat.
like
it's
Hollywood
a lot
type
of TV. A lot of TV. I'm guessing it's BBC stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's 82 years old. So everybody, all the main four in this film, really the main three, and then Raquel Welch.
Dudley Moore, Peter Cook, Charles Bronson.
Charles Bronson. Can you imagine? He played God.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That would be actually awesome.
I love that whole dialogue when Satan says, everything I've told you is a lie, including that.
Yes. And then there's a back and forth between them.
It's so awesome.
Everything was a lie?
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you can't trust anything I say. Believe you me, or something like that, or believe me. Yeah.
That's very Python-esque.
Yeah.
Like that's the epitome of that British humor that we've been talking about.
And then it goes into that's where he goes. I want you to tell me right now. He takes his hat off and throws it. He's like, I want you to tell me right now, where is she? And then he takes his hat off and goes, Scout's honor. She's in the strong arms of the detective or something. Sarah loves the look on his face when he delivers that.
Yeah.
Because his eyes are very straight, but you can see his mouth. He's like, so shitty about, so smirky about, like trying to hold back a smirk. And then that's when it goes in, and then he goes, I'd love to be a fly on the wall there. And he goes,
speaking of the fly scene, which is where I wanted to go next. So when he said he wanted to be a fly on the wall, that was one of his wishes, right?
He took it as a wish.
Yeah, but he said that he took it literally.
Yeah, you rotten son of a...
Made him a fly. And that was animated.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny. It brought back... I don't know, to me, I'm guessing I have to look, like when did a lot of the... the Disney American style... live action combined with animation kick in, because this was very reminiscent of that, and I'm not sure if the Disney stuff was like in the 50s and 60s and would have come out prior to this.
I'm not sure, like Pete's Dragon, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when that came out. 50s?
Let's check it out.
It might have been 50s.
Let's see. 2016.
Who knows? Time flies.
Oh no! Here we go. Pete's Dragon, 1977.
Oh,
so
wow,
this
is that
came
late?
out. This came out in
67.
So 10 years.
Wow! See,
This beat that by 10 years.
I had the impression in my mind that Pete's Dragon would have been an older work of art.
Me too.
And
I did too.
not the case.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be older ones that we're not thinking of, but
I do really like the scene about this here where they come out of the water and it's so like industrial and gritty and
They're wearing their scuba gear. Yeah, I love when he would raspberry back to real time, he would end up in a tree or end up like on a roof.
Yeah, but for those who haven't, well, I mean, I hope you have. Seen
You better see it.
You should see this movie.
And if you don't see it at this point, then just you're gonna have to try to imagine what we're referencing. Yeah, imagine what it's
you definitely need to see this movie. It's. I highly recommend it.
So hold on, we haven't gotten to our ratings yet. You need to calm down there, Mikey. He's throwing out recommendations.
It's Uncle Monkey.
Uncle
Monkey's ratings. I like this is where the greed starts, like every time he spends money, she's like saying how much it was. She's bitching about it.
Yeah.
So here's what we'll do. Mike is clearly anxious to get to this part.
No, I wasn't.
We're going to rate this film. Oh, let me do this first. Let's.
I just blew a raspberry.
Share.
I'm back home in my bed now.
Yeah.
My ice lolly's melted. You really must be the devil. George Spigot and the magic word, Julie Andrews.
Yeah. Julie Andrews. Yep.
George Spigot. Everything I've ever told you has been a lie, including that. Including what? that everything I've told you has been a lie. That's not true. I don't know what to believe. Not me, Stanley. Believe me.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what he says, yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love that kind of humor.
I like
dialogue.
I like at the beginning. I can't remember the exact quote. I remember when he's like talking about the whole millions and gets his attention with that, and he's and then he's spending here, and he's like, "Well, what's that leave me?" He's like, "Penniless and on the brink of suicide."
Yes. Yeah, he was talking about how he inherited this money, but then like
there's like nothing there.
Yeah, there's nothing left of it because it went through these other people, basically.
So let's.
I also like how when he's getting ready to hang himself, and the devil appears, and he's like, "I'm calling the police," and he's like, "Well, suicide's illegal, so they hang you for that."
In less enlightened times, they'd hang you for it.
Yes.
So let's go around the table here and rate this thing.
Okay. Who wants to start? Justin, you want to start?
Justin, I think you should because you selected this one.
8.9.
8.9.
Woo!
Wow.
That's high.
I just clear my mind. Numbers come into it, and I say them.
Okay.
You're like a clairvoyant.
Yeah.
You're like
so if Mike does that, it's going to be 69 every time.
You're like a random number generator clairvoyant.
It's true though. Every time I can accurately depict my rating for a movie.
Really?
Depict. I can accurately
predict.
What did I say?
You can depict it as well. All right, 8.9.
It's getting late. I'm tired.
Yeah, I hear that.
8.9. Mike,
yo,
what's your ranking, your rating?
Look, that's very.
So you gave The Visitor 9.2.
Woo! Come on, man.
Just for reference.
Are we really going to
no,
debate the validity?
No, we're not. We're not. It's what you're feeling on that day.
All right.
Yeah.
It's on the day.
Mike?
I might swap them.
Look,
I won't.
My rating is a very, very personal and private thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I really, really enjoyed this. I want to watch it again to like absorb it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I really wasn't expecting to. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't even know what I was getting into. I knew that Dudley Moore was in it, and I was like, "Oh, Dudley Moore was acting back then." I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
I mean, you didn't know that he was acting back then?
No. I told you earlier.
I mean, but I
didn't know.
I assumed as much. I knew because I think I even perceived as a young adult that okay, he must be an old head. Like he must be.
Well, I think
he's been around for a minute.
I hadn't seen any of his films since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I had no real frame of reference of how old he was at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't know. I just.
All right. So what do you give it?
Man, this is gonna be one of those ones that's gonna just climb the ladder for me. But right now, I'm gonna give it an 8.2.
Man, I'm gonna start feeling real shitty about myself. I was leaning more towards the above average for sure, but not even into the 7s. I was kind of like in a 6.5 range, and it wasn't.
Well, do you?
Yeah, because I don't know. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I feel like I'm cutting it short. I'll give it a 7. I'm going to give this one a 7. I did really enjoy it. I think I would love to watch it in high def, and I would love to be able to put the subtitles on. And I know that sounds so stupid.
I'll let you borrow it.
Thank you. But yeah, I think I want to watch it so I can like take it all in. I want to see what jokes I'm missing.
No, I totally agree.
Because I definitely feel like I missed something. And the, no knock on fart flicks, but there is just the transfer of it. It was,
It's
look, it's it's old school. It's old school comedy. I mean, it looks the way you would think it would look.
True.
And anyway, I'll give it a 7.
I think my rating was so high because I was so pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah.
Like it was not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
So it really hit me, and I really enjoyed it.
I think that's how it was when we first watched it because we didn't know, what was going on.
Yeah.
Sarah loves this part though when he's talking about the child fell to Earth or something, and he goes and points to himself like he was that child.
Yeah.
So anyone who has listened to the MacGuffin Guild before knows that
Both of you.
not only both of you. Thanks, Mom, for listening. Not only do we talk about the film, but then we use the film. Anyone who's into filmmaking knows that a MacGuffin is a plot device used to drive along the story. And us here at the MacGuffin Guild, we like to use the film as a device to drive along our conversation. So with that said, Justin had the great idea to talk about the devil on film and to discuss and debate other incarnations.
Incarnations, yeah, that works.
Or what's incantation mean?
That's like casting a spell. They're like an incantation.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I don't want to go down the devil incantation road because that can get ugly real fast.
Devil
like that's like that would be like the verbal part of a spell. The part you say would be the incantation.
Okay.
I
So,
believe.
yeah, we're not going to go there.
Let's do it.
So, obviously, we have Bedazzled, the original with George Spigot.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the remake with Elizabeth Hurley, which I have not seen. I don't know if anyone in this room has seen it. Is there any other devils on film that you guys want to bring up?
Devil's Advocate.
I was thinking that one too.
That's a good one.
And that was Pacino?
Yep.
That's got Keanu in it, right?
Yep.
Doesn't he? Well, I don't want to spoil that one. I was going to spoil the end.
I like that movie.
Yeah, it's been a while. I saw it in the
What
theaters
did you like Pacino's?
Yes.
Are we rating devils here?
I mean,
Was Pacino's devil and Devil's Advocate better than
performance in that?
Better than George Spigot?
I'd have to see it again. It's been a while, but I do like that movie quite a bit. What about what's his name in End of Days? Is he the devil or is he just a demon?
Gabriel Byrne.
Gabriel Byrne.
No, I think he was Satan.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, correct me if I'm incorrect. Go to our social media. Let me know. Say, Pat, he was not Satan.
Another one I like that
There's a lot. Like, we could go down a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah, I got a list here. I'm gonna run down them.
Okay.
You guys give me your thoughts.
Wait, Just what were you going to say?
I want to see if it's on the list.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you ready? I got Satan, played by Dave Grohl in Pick of Destiny.
Ah, yes.
That was pretty good.
I got South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut, Satan with
that's a good one.
Saddam Hussein.
That's a good one.
I got Mr. Frost. Has anyone seen Mr. Frost with Jeff Goldblum playing
I've
Mr.
never
Frost,
seen that.
I've never
a.k.a.
heard of
the
that.
devil?
I like the movie Jack Frost.
I kind of want to watch that one.
Yeah.
But that is Jeff Goldblum. I mean, who doesn't like Jeff Goldblum? Especially him playing the devil.
I could see him being very playful as that character.
Yeah, there's a scene I saw in that movie where he was like, he starts going in and they're on an elevator. There's a woman there. I think he's her, like her. I don't know if she's a psychiatrist or whatever, but he's Mr. Frost and he's the devil. And he steps into the elevator and she's there and he starts kind of like slowly going in and rubbing her back and then they start kissing passionately. And then he smashes her head into the side of the glass of the elevator.
Oh, jeez.
But then she wakes up.
No.
So anyway, I want to check that one out though. I've never seen it.
Like what year or decade at least?
That was, it's got to be the 80s. I'd have to look it up. That's that up for sure. But
continue your list.
We got The Witches of Eastwick.
Oh man,
Daryl Van Horn, played by Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, I've never seen that whole movie. I've only seen like bits.
We got Constantine, Lucifer.
That's
Peter Stormare.
Peter Stormare.
Yeah, I ever say it.
I think it's Stormare.
Stormare. Legend. Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
The Unicorn Killer.
Yeah, he wasn't really the devil, but I was gonna that was the one I was gonna mention.
Is he like a minion?
Darkness?
He's like darkness. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, in
But
essence,
he's a devil type character, which I thought the makeup was great, obviously.
Angel Heart. Louis Cypher, played by De Niro.
I like that movie.
Yeah.
We got Hercules, the cartoon, played Hades. James Woods does the voice in the cartoon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I've never seen that.
Little Nicky. Dad.
Yeah.
A.K.A. Satan. Needful Things. That was I thought that was a really good version of Satan.
Yeah. Max von Sydow or Sydow?
Yeah.
However you say it.
Then we got the 2004 Passion of the Christ. Lucifer.
Yeah.
Which was very
brief.
Very demonic.
And very brief. He's not in it much.
We got The Prophecy.
Ooh,
Viggo Mortensen.
Okay, he played. Yeah, that's right. Christopher Walken was like one of the archangels or whatever.
So that's my list. Any jump out at you guys? You're going to go back to the South Park Satan, aren't you?
I was gonna no, and I mean he's definitely noteworthy, but that's silly. I mean that's a comedic. Obviously, if you don't know that South Park's a comedy, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I think on this list, I think Needful Things would be one of my favorites.
That's good. Because
I really want to see the Jeff Goldblum one, though.
I like how in Needful Things he turns everybody against each other.
Which I think is the way it would probably go down.
Yeah. For those who may not know the Stephen King book or the film, he comes to town as an antiques dealer. He's got a shop called Needful Things, and people come in and they're like, oh, I really like this, but I can't afford it. And he's like, oh, you know what? Just give me $5 and do me a favor. And he basically gets people to play little pranks on other people, and then it kind of like
it starts
snowballing.
Yep.
Like
the pettiness starts becoming.
He like gets them to like turn on each other and
literally blow the whole fucking town up.
Yes, and by the end of I don't know if they do that in the movie, but I know for a fact in the book.
Yeah, I think I remember you telling me that's the way the
town gets
book
wiped off the map.
ended. So I think in my mind that was like an alternate ending of the movie, but I don't think that was ever filmed.
But a lot of people do end up dying and
There's
stuff.
another
It's
movie
great.
I recall watching at your house, like one of these summers as we were growing up.
Yeah, I like that movie. I think that's a very underrated film. Have you ever seen that, Justin? It's got Ed Harris as Sheriff Alan Pangborn.
I can't remember. I don't think I have. I think it's one that kind of slipped by me.
That's a good one.
You should check it out.
I will.
Oh yeah. So did you look up Mr. Frost by any chance?
No.
I'm gonna look that up real quick. 1990. Mr. Frost is a 1990 supernatural thriller film starring Jeff Goldblum and directed by French filmmaker Philippe Setbon, who also co-wrote the screenplay with Derry Hall, Brad Lynch, and Louis Vincent. Had Kathy Bates and Alan Bates in it. I don't know if there's any relation. Anyway.
Wow.
So the other thing that Justin brought up was to potentially talk about comedy duos.
Ah, yeah.
So I have a list before me of notable comedy duos. Anybody want to rattle any off before I go down the list?
Siegfried and Roy.
I was going to say Simon and Garfunkel.
Those are two good
Simon
ones
and Simon
that are not on the. This is mainly film and TV duos though.
Penn and Teller.
Michael and
That'd be a good one.
But actually, I was thinking about ones that do like. I was thinking of more like people that you see in the same movies all the time. Like,
yeah.
I'm not a fan, but what's the guy?
Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, Cheech and Chong.
A lot of movies together. And we were talking about Yellowbeard earlier.
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Yeah, work together a lot.
Yeah.
Out of a friendship. That was kind of the thing.
Yeah.
Like, people are friends that just wrote together and worked on stuff together.
So I think this list here is more comedy duo. So, like, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon aren't going to make that
What are you
list.
talking about? They're hilarious.
What are you, Justin, you were trying to think of one, but you couldn't. You said you're not a fan, but you didn't.
Oh, I can't think of their names. It's
They might be on the list.
Laurel and Hardy.
Okay.
All right, let's go down the list. You ready? So, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
Oh, yeah.
That's a more recent one. Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen and James Franco.
That's what I was thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I am a fan.
We got Bob Hope.
They kind of lost me when they didn't pay their animators for that stupid food fucking movie.
Oh, what's it called? The hot dog movie or something? Food Fight or whatever? Sausage Party.
Yeah. Really? That happened? I didn't know
They didn't pay them?
There's a big...
Allegedly.
Allegedly. People should look it up, but there's definitely a thing where they were working... this is the way I heard it, and I definitely think people should look it up and get their own take, but I think it was like... They had like animators working around the clock, and like they weren't paying them overtime or something like that. And then the people that complained about it, got their name taken off the credits, which is how they continue to get work. So it was like a real like, we're not going to pay you, and then shove it up your ass.
Allegedly, we'll look into that.
Allegedly, look it up.
So this is just through the grapevine we've heard about it.
Plus, I just don't think they're.
And by we,
there's stuff they did that was really funny, but particularly like this thing. Not that
so Seth Rogen, I almost said Joe Rogan. Seth Rogen and James Franco, Bob Hope and Bing Crosby. It's an older school one. Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan.
Yeah. I mean, it's only one series of film. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm sure it's made millions.
I mean, they are good. I like the films. They're good. They're funny.
We got Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson.
Oh, yeah, they are in a lot of stuff together.
We got Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, they're a good
They had
one.
a stint together.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's a good one.
That is
Fuzzy
a good
Wuzzy
one.
was a woman?
Mm-hmm. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum.
Yeah. They formed like this weird buddy.
Yeah.
It was weird. It works, but...
We got
I didn't see any of the movies they were in together.
You didn't see 21 Jump Street or anything?
Nah.
Oh, man, they're actually funny movies.
I didn't see him.
You should.
Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
This one you guys know.
Cheech and Chong.
Think about the prime of our
Jim Carrey
20s.
and... What's his name?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey and
Tommy
Jeff
Lee
Daniels.
No.
I know. They only
No,
did
but think
Dumb and
that
Dumber.
same rage. That same range.
Rage?
That same range. take that Jim Carrey rage and
Yeah.
focus. Think about that same period of movie times.
John Lovitz.
Come on. The minute I
and-
say it, you're going to get so angry.
Am I going to use that Jim Carrey rage?
I'll give you a hint. 2 films that were game-changing, and
Comedy?
they would have made more.
2?
2 very strong films. One of which I think was referenced in an episode recently. I don't know if it's going to make it into the episode, but so if you hear this, then don't try to hunt for it because it might not have made it.
I'm drawing a blank. I don't know.
Chris Farley and David Spade.
Mother,
Oh, that's
mother,
right. Yeah.
mother, Jim Carrey rage. Son of a bitch. I'm an idiot.
Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy.
Yeah, I did mention.
Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau from Old Dirty Men.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No, Grumpy Old Man.
Grumpy old man.
And Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there's some good combos in there. I like how they got the old school ones and then they got
it's
like
a nice blend.
Yeah, the more recent
I'm
ones.
curious how many, like, because I don't know the stories behind a lot of them. Like, I like the ones where there was a true love for each other. Like, I felt like I was reading about, like, how Dudley Moore, how, like, just distraught and destroyed he was after Peter Cook died. And,
Oh yeah.
and all that. Yeah, just like, and then the ones that are just like, yeah, they keep throwing us in movies together and we don't really
Yeah.
know
I
each other,
think he
but, yeah.
passed just a few years. Well, maybe it was, I don't know.
Who,
More than 5, less than 10 years later. I feel.
yeah,
Dudley
I think,
Moore?
Peter
Cook went
he
first.
was like,
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
97 or something, or?
I think Dudley Moore went in 2002.
I think so,
I
yeah.
think that's what I saw.
Yeah, so it was only about 5 years,
Yeah,
right?
it wasn't, yeah, it wasn't 10 years, I think.
So the other thing I wanted to touch on real quick before we wrap this up is Dudley Moore did the music, which we talked about earlier. And I was trying to get to the bottom of if you guys thought, 95 is when Peter Cook died. And then, hold on, let me see when Dudley Moore
2004?
passed. So 95 to 2002.
2002.
Yeah. So what did I say, 95, 2002?
Yeah.
So, 7 years. So, yeah, that's a damn shame. But Dudley Moore, the music, he did the music for this film. He's done other music, has albums, pretty phenomenal. I mean, I haven't listened to the albums. It's pretty phenomenal to have an artist who's skilled enough to not only be a comedic actor, but also to be able to write music.
What did you say the name of that one was? Little Dud or The Dud You Know or something?
Yeah, something like that.
There's definitely conversation we had about this that we kind of glossed over. There's like so much stuff I was going to bring up.
Well, we
It's
can.
like, yeah.
It's not too late. We can.
It's getting. It's like, yeah, just like little stuff about like, just it was funny towards the end when he gives him back his soul and he's like, this is my good deed, and he goes to heaven and like, and he has this. Sarah loves it. He goes up with this big purple ostentatious hat or something where everybody else is more humble, and he's like, yeah, let me in, fuckers. Like he was just like, I did this thing. He's like, I gave that twit. It's like, you know, and he was just being so petty that they're like, no, you didn't learn your lesson. It went down. But the funniest part about the whole thing, I think, was when he went back down and you hear God audibly laugh at him.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's being petty.
Yeah.
Like laughing at him, which
Yeah.
I think is even more. It's like these grand celestial beings all being petty.
So we're all the same. Is
Yeah.
ultimately like the point is like, you know, Satan finally makes a positive decision, but it's not done for the right reasons, and then
yeah.
God turns him away at the gates and then laughs his ass off about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was really good. And then obviously the overall point, when then Satan gets the throne from heaven again, he goes back down to the diner where Dudley Moore is working again, afraid to approach this waitress, and says, doesn't he pretty much say, all right, what do you want to try this time? Like, I forget how he approached him, but Dudley Moore was just like, I want to do it my way this time.
Yeah.
So that was the icing on the cake, the message.
It's just great that it's like, the idea is that the devil being this evil thing, and you're always associated with evil deeds and brings all the evil into the world. But in here, it's just like, he's a tool used by God to, test people and stuff like that. It's not like he's evil. He's just, because if you think about all the things he did to him, we're all just made him realize that he doesn't need to be anything else. It's not these things. It's going to be, you just have to be you and then get turned down as you.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed...
The story we're all familiar with.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So, in regards to Dudley Moore, before we wrap this up, the music he did, I wanted to know if you guys could think of any other actors that have been professionals in their acting field, but have also been very skilled musical performers.
And not like bullshit ones where it's like, they put some...
There's a big one that I think we're all going to jump right to.
Eddie Murphy.
That's not where I thought you were going.
My girl has a party all the time.
Oh my God, that's right. That's a good one, but not
I'm
where
joking.
I was gonna say Harry Connick Jr. was.
But yeah, I think I feel.
Well, his music was
he went backwards. Yeah, he went.
Yeah, he was a big. I knew
musician.
about him
first.
but that was the same thing with.
Oh, that's right.
I think he was. Yeah, he started being a musician.
Oh, okay.
And then he was working as far as I know.
No, that is a good one.
That's why I brought him up.
Coming at it from the same. From the same path.
Okay.
I was gonna say the same thing with Dwight Yoakam was another one who was a magician.
Dwight Yoakam, the magician,
makes my point disappear. But he was a musician. I don't really listen to country music, but he was a musician first. And actually, I thought his acting roles were pretty spot on. I think he did a great
Sling Blade. Was he in Panic Room?
Panic Room, yeah.
Yeah, he was always like creepy AF, like intense.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Go on, Justin.
No, is it?
No, the big one I had,
Tupac.
This is Spinal Tap.
Those
guys.
Oh yeah,
amazing comedians, but like phenomenal musicians.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing the instruments, writing the music.
It's always
pretty
funny.
Cool.
It's always funny when you watch a movie and you see an actor and they're like playing it and they're like, oh wow, they learned that pretty quick. And you're like, oh no, they've been putting out albums and playing. It's like, holy shit, I didn't even know.
So, and then Michael McKean, Christopher Guest, Harry Shearer, for anyone who's not familiar with Spinal Tap. And how about Steve Martin?
Steve Martin, excellent
banjo maniac.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's an amazing banjo player.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
So, any others?
Oh, let's think.
So far, Eddie Murphy and Tupac are your two additions to this.
Tupac was a great actor, actually.
Yeah, no, I know.
There's a bunch of them I can't think right now, but I'm sure.
He wasn't really a musician.
I know you guys have David Hasselhoff.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, I know he's an actor first.
Career in Germany, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a legit career.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much here, but he's popular somewhere.
All right. Any final thoughts, fellas, before we shut this puppy down?
I'm excited that I now know about Vajazzling. I didn't know about that, so that was exciting.
That's a whole new avenue I want to explore. I might start my own little podcast about Vajazzling.
Maybe start with a blog, see where that goes.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Do people still blog?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or is it more of a vlog?
Yeah.
You're definitely going to get.
I don't know.
Visual media.
Is LiveJournal still around? I don't even know.
Is that?
That was a blogging thing.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
LiveJournal.
I believe that's what it was called. Yeah. I never used it. I just know it was a thing.
You just stalked it.
I don't know how you stalk. Well, you did. Yeah, people do stalk LiveJournal. People.
He knows.
No, I didn't do that.
No, I'm just teasing.
I was never even on that site.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
I wouldn't even know how to get there. I mean.
Yeah, I don't even know the.
I don't know the IP address.
I mean, if I were to stalk someone on LiveJournal, I'll write a book about how I would have done it, but I didn't.
Had I stalked them, this is how I do it. All right.
I guess I'm dead now.
Let's shut it down. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us on the MacGuffin Guild. I am Pat Dougherty, and as always, with Justin Jones and Mike Antonio. Thank you, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
For everyone listening, thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. We appreciate the support and you checking us out. We want to have a good time. We want you to have fun. And be sure to follow us on our social media. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Discord. Just search us out, the MacGuffin Guild. You'll find us.
You'll find us for sure.
And give us your feedback. If we got something wrong or you think we missed something, let us know.
Not if we did. Give us feedback on the stuff we got
missed
wrong.
plenty of
I'm
things.
sure there's things.
Plenty of things.
But yeah, give us your feedback, man. We want to interact with you guys. So hit us up on social media.
Yeah, let us know, and we'll give you a shout out. Like if you get to us, and when we're recording our next episode, we'll make sure we give you a shout.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other resources out there that can give you information and details on this more accurately. So link those so people know facts, because you're not going to get them here.
No, this is about sheer entertainment. We want to sit in a room together. We want to focus on positivity, have fun, and use a film to spark conversation and give us an excuse to just laugh.
Yeah.
So,
and hang out and catch up and share the things that, explore. And that's the thing, is like turning people on to stuff they haven't seen and hopefully getting them excited about it, which I'm glad that you like this so much, Mike, because
I'm glad you, man.
I think that's the whole point of the thing, is just sharing the excitement of things.
So thank you so much. We appreciate it. And guys, always a pleasure. Thank you for being here. And until next week. Later.
Till then.
Peace.
See ya.
I learned something today.